The same train doors opened at 8:15. The same announcement echoed underground. Someone beside me slept against the window, still wearing yesterday's office clothes. I bought coffee from the usual machine without remembering how it tasted. The woman at the counter recognized me first, before I even looked up properly. Lately the mornings blur together before the week even really begins. Monday feels automatic now, like my body moves before my thoughts catch up. Elevated doors, security scanners, office lights, everything repeats without asking. I used to notice small things on the way to work, the weather, songs, conversations on the street. Now entire mornings disappear quietly before I realize I was awake at all. My desk calendar stayed turned to last month. Nobody else seemed to notice either. Lunch arrived faster than expected again, then disappeared before I felt rested. A friend sent photos from back home tonight, people laughing somewhere near the river. I stared at them longer than necessary before locking my phone without replying. Sometimes exhaustion doesn't feel heavy, just strangely familiar after a while. Monday feels automatic now, like my body moves before my thoughts catch up. Elevated doors, security scanners, office lights, everything repeats without asking. I used to notice small things on the way to work, the weather, songs, conversations on the street. Now entire mornings disappear quietly before I realize I was awake at all. The train windows reflected tired faces floating through dark tunnel walls. Nobody spoke during the last transfer, only footsteps filling empty station cells. Monday feels automatic now, another week beginning without warning. Still somewhere underneath these quiet routines, a small part of me keeps resisting. Even if these days keep repeating, even if the city keeps pulling me forward, I still look outside during train rides sometimes, like I'm searching for something I forgot. Three unread messages stayed on my screen since sometime around 11:30. One asked if I was doing okay lately. Another sent photos from a birthday dinner. I watched the typing bubbles disappear before setting the phone back upside down. The apartment stayed completely silent, except for traffic somewhere far below. Lately I answer everything slower, even things that used to make me happy. Unread messages after midnight. just happened between work days somehow. The city outside still sounded awake, but my room already felt disconnected, like I've been slowly drifting farther without realizing when it first began. Convenience store receipts filled my jacket pocket, folded between train cards and loose coins. The microwave light reflected off the kitchen sink, while instant noodles cooled beside the counter. Someone laughed loudly outside the building, then silence settled back into the hallway. I opened old conversations for no reason and closed them again before scrolling too far. Sometimes exhaustion looks almost normal after carrying it long enough every day. Unread messages after midnight, stacking quietly beside my alarm clock. I never meant to disappear this way. It just happened between work days somehow. The city outside still sounded awake, but my room already felt disconnected, like I've been slowly drifting farther without realizing when it first began. A train passed somewhere near the river, its sound fading into the early morning. I almost replied to one of the messages, but stared at the screen until it dimmed. Unread messages after midnight, another quiet weekday ending, half awake. Maybe everyone grows distant eventually, just slowly enough not to notice it. Still somewhere beneath these tired evenings, past unanswered calls and crowded stations, I think there's a version of me waiting for the day I finally reach back out. The elevator stopped on every floor. People stepped in carrying tired expressions. Nobody looked at each other for long, only floor numbers changing overhead. My office badge twisted against my jacket, wrinkled sleeves folded near my watch. Someone beside me fixed their hair quietly while staring into the mirror doors. Lately I've been catching reflections that don't fully feel like mine anymore. The elevator mirror looked unfamiliar tonight, like I've been wearing the same face too long. Another overtime evening inside gray buildings, another train waiting somewhere underground. I used to walk through this city differently, noticing music leaking from cafes at night. Now most days disappear inside routine before I even realize they're over. The break room coffee tasted burnt again. Someone joked about surviving until Friday. I laughed softly, half a second too late, then stared at my monitor for another hour. Outside the windows rain blurred everything. Office towers fading become quieter without ever deciding to change at all. The elevator mirror looked unfamiliar tonight, like I've been wearing the same face too long. Another overtime evening inside gray buildings, another train waiting somewhere underground. I used to walk through this city differently, noticing music leaking from cafes at night. Now most days disappear inside routine before I even realize they're over. The last elevator down felt strangely silent, only fluorescent lights above our heads on one side, softly near the closing doors, then looked away before the lobby opened. The elevator mirror looked unfamiliar tonight, but I still stared at it before leaving, like part of me was trying to recognize who I've slowly become inside this routine. And even these long repeating weekdays keep wearing down small pieces of myself, I still pause whenever the doors open, as if I'm expecting something to change. The same cafe near the station entrance, already knew my order before I spoke. I used to like small familiar moments, now they mostly pass without feeling much. Weekend plans stay buried in the group chat, nobody pushed the conversation further. Saturday disappeared inside laundry and sleep, then Monday arrived almost immediately. Somewhere along these repeating evenings, excitement slowly stopped showing up. Nothing felt special anymore lately, not Fridays, birthdays, or late night walks home. Everything started blending together, like weeks folding into the same tired shape. I thought adulthood would feel more meaningful, like every year would change something inside me. Now I mostly count days by exhaustion and train announcements after overtime. The office lights stayed on past 9 again, rainwater drying near the lobby floor. Someone asked if I wanted dinner after work. I almost said yes before saying maybe next time. Back home the apartment looked unchanged, half-read books still stacked beside the bed. A song I once replayed every night ended before I noticed it had started. Maybe nothing actually disappeared, maybe I just stopped paying attention. Slowly, nothing felt special anymore lately, not Fridays, birthdays, or late night walks home. Everything started blending together, like weeks folding into the same tired shape. I thought adulthood would feel more meaningful, like every year would change something inside me. Now I'm station scared me most. How quietly people get used to emptiness without noticing it while it happens. Still somewhere beneath these ordinary nights, past office floors and crowded stations, I think there's a version of me waiting to feel something honestly again. The office sounded different after 10. Keyboard soft across the empty floor. Someone near the hallway vending machine rubbed tired eyes beside cold canned coffee. The elevator stopped less often now. Most desks already dark behind the glass. I checked the train schedule twice tonight, knowing I probably missed the faster one again. Lately, going home feels delayed somehow, like the city keeps moving without me. Overtime lights above my head again, white reflections filling silent windows. I used to think staying late meant ambition, now it mostly feels automatic. The last train announcement echoed downstairs while unfinished work blinked across my screen. Somewhere outside, people were meeting friends, and I barely noticed the time passing. My necktie stayed folded in the desk drawers, and sometime near the start of winter, dinner came from the convenience store. Microwave eaten slowly beside printed documents. A message from my mother stayed unanswered, not because I forgot to call her back. I just didn't know how to explain lately why every weekday feels exactly the same. Sometimes exhaustion becomes so familiar, you stop asking when it started growing. Overtime lights above my head again, white reflections filling silent windows. I used to think staying late meant ambition, now it mostly feels automatic. The last train announcement echoed downstairs while unfinished work blinked across my screen. Somewhere outside, people were meeting friends, and I barely noticed the time passing. The lobby smelled faintly like rainwater, security gates flashing near the exit. Cold air hit harder after long office hours as taxis moved quietly through wet streets. Overtime lights above my head again, another long night dissolving into morning. Maybe everyone learns to carry this feeling just differently behind tired expressions. Still, every time I leave the building late and hear the empty crosswalk signal ringing, I wonder how much of myself I'm trading for days I'll barely remember later. Platform looked almost empty tonight, only tired footsteps near the yellow line. A vending machine hummed beside the staircase while transfer announcements echoed overhead. Someone slept with their head against the window, holding the convenience store back tightly. The train arrives slowly feels quieter, like the city finally running out of energy. The last train home again tonight, half awake beneath fluorescent station lights. I used to think nights in the city felt exciting. Now they mostly feel unfinished. The stations pass without me noticing. Weeks disappear in the exact same way. Somewhere between overtime and morning alarms, I've started losing track of myself a little. My reflection blurred against the subway glass, dark tunnel sliding past behind my face. A song kept looping through my earphones softly, but I barely listened to the lyrics anymore. The final transfer nearly made me miss my stop. I woke up when the doors began closing. Outside the station, rain covered the sidewalk. Street cleaners moving through the empty roads. Sometimes I wonder if everyone here feels this tired without ever saying it aloud. The last train home again tonight, half awake beneath fluorescent station lights. I used to think nights in the city felt exciting. Now they mostly feel unfinished. The stations pass without me noticing. Weeks disappear in the exact same way. Somewhere between overtime and morning alarms, I've started losing track of myself a little. The apartment elevator smelled like rainwater. My key slipped once before reaching the lock. Inside the room, everything stayed exactly the same as yesterday morning before work. The last train home again tonight, another long weekday ending after midnight. Maybe this is how people slowly change without recognizing it while it happens. Still every now and then during these late rides, watching dark windows shake against tunnel lights, I remember there was once a version of me who thought growing up would feel different. Someone laughed beside the copy machine, talking about weekend plans and deadlines. Paper cups stacked near the coffee maker, the same conversations every afternoon. I learned how to nod at the right time and smile lightly when everybody else did. The break room television stayed muted, weather forecast changing without sound. Lately I've gotten better at pretending that I'm less tired than I actually feel. Small talk in the break room again, questions nobody really waits to hear answered. Everyone sounds comfortable together while I count minutes inside my head. I never thought loneliness could happen in rooms filled with voices every day, but somehow these short familiar conversations only make the silence feel heavier later. A coworker asked if I was adjusting well. I answered slowly and laughed a little. Someone opened snacks beside the printer, crumbs scattered near unfinished reports. My phone buzzed quietly inside my pocket, messages I still hadn't replied to. I stared at them through the reflection on the microwave door during overtime. Sometimes I miss conversations that wandered without lights flickered softly. Someone yawned near the hallway door. Outside, the office rain covered the windows, blurring the buildings across the street. Small talk in the break room again. Another weekday disappearing into routine. Maybe everyone here feels disconnected, just quietly enough not to show it. Still every now and then, after these long days, walking home beneath crowded apartment lights, I catch myself wanting real conversations like the ones I used to have before all this. Rain kept sliding down the office windows, blurring buildings across the street. Half the floor had already gone home, only monitor light remained behind me. Cold coffee sat beside the keyboard, next to documents I stopped reading carefully. The air conditioner hummed above the silence, while spreadsheets stayed open across the screen. Some nights the office feels disconnected, like time stops moving after everyone leaves. Rain on the office window tonight, another overtime evening fading slowly. I used to think staying late meant something, now it mostly feels expected. The city outside looked far away somehow, even though it waited just below the building. And lately I've started feeling the same way about almost everything around me. Someone forgot their umbrella near the printer, water dripping softly onto the floor. The elevator numbers barely change for minutes, no footsteps left in the hallway anymore. I open old songs during a short break, tracks I used to replay every night. But halfway through the second chorus, I closed my headphones and stared outside again. Maybe exhaustion doesn't arrive suddenly, maybe it settles quietly over time. Rain on the office window tonight, another overtime evening fading slowly. I used to think staying late meant something, now it mostly feels expected. The city outside looked far away somehow, even though we waited just below the building. And lately I've started feeling the same way about almost everything around me. The last subway transfer flashed across my phone, rainwater gathering near the station stairs. For a second I imagined not going home, just walking until morning somewhere unfamiliar. Rain on the office window tonight, another quiet weekday ending after midnight. Maybe growing older really feels like this, small pieces of yourself becoming distant. Still every now and then during these late hours, watching rain slide slowly down the glass, I remember there was once a version of me who felt excited, staying awake at night. The jacket hanging near the doorway changed changed without me really noticing. When summer disappeared somewhere between overtime and crowded subway mornings underground. The convenience store started selling hot drinks where cold bottles used to fill the shelves. Someone mentioned how fast this year was moving, and everybody quietly agreed. Lately time feels harder to recognize, like weekdays swallowing entire months whole. I stopped noticing the seasons changing. The weather only mattered before work. Sunset arrives earlier than it used to, but most days I barely see the sky. I thought growing older would feel slower, like I noticed myself becoming different. Now entire parts of the year disappear inside routines I hardly remember later. The office air conditioner finally stopped running. Cold wind replaced by indoor heating sounds. Umbrellas line the lobby entrance quietly, water drying underneath fluorescent lights. A friend asked if I've been doing okay lately. I answered busy before thinking twice, then realized I've been saying that same sentence for almost every month this year. Maybe people slowly lose track of time when every day starts looking the same. I stopped noticing the seasons changing. The weather only mattered before work. Sunset arrives earlier than it used to, but most days I barely see the sky. I thought growing older would feel slower, like I noticed myself becoming different. Now entire parts of the year disappear inside routines I hardly remember later. The train windows reflected winter coats tonight, faces hidden beneath tired expressions. Outside the station, cold air hit differently, like the city changed before I noticed it. I stopped noticing the seasons changing, and somehow that scared me more than anything. How quietly life keeps moving forward, even while everything feels frozen. Still every now and then during long commutes, watching distant apartment lights pass by, I remember there was once a version of me who waited excitedly for every season. The apartment looked exactly the same, but somehow felt smaller than before. Laundry hanging near the kitchen doorway, cold coffee left beside unopened mail. I missed another call from back home tonight without realizing the phone had vibrated. The television flickered without sound while I stared at nothing from the floor. Lately even weekends feel temporary, gone before I fully noticed they arrived. I barely recognize myself lately, the way I speak, the way I move through days. Somewhere between overtime and exhaustion, parts of me slowly disappeared unnoticed. I used to stay awake, creating things at midnight. Now I fall asleep before finishing a thought. And honestly, the scariest part about it is how normal all of this has started feeling. The last train home felt colder than usual, Everyone's silent beneath white subway lights. A song I once loved played through my earphones, but I skipped it halfway through the chorus. Old sketchbooks stayed buried near the bookshelf, dust collecting slowly across the covers. I almost opened one after showering, then turned the light off instead. Maybe burnout doesn't arrive loudly. Maybe it quietly replaces who you are. I barely recognize myself lately. The way I speak, the way I move through days. Somewhere between overtime and exhaustion, parts of me slowly disappeared unnoticed. I used to stay awake creating things at midnight. Now I fall asleep before finishing a thought. And honestly, the scariest part about it is how normal all of this has started feeling. The refrigerator hummed through the darkness, rain tapping softly against the glass. I checked tomorrow's first subway schedule before finally trying to sleep again. I barely recognize myself lately, but somewhere underneath all this routine, I think there's still a quieter version of me, waiting beneath the exhaustion to returning. And if these long, repeating weekdays keep pulling me further from who I was, tonight before sleeping I left the desk lamp on, like I still plan to create something tomorrow. The same train doors opened at 8:15. The same announcement echoed underground. Someone beside me slept against the window, still wearing yesterday's office clothes. I bought coffee from the usual machine without remembering how it tasted. The woman at the counter recognized me first before I even looked up properly. Lately the mornings blur together before the week even really begins. Monday feels automatic now, like my body moves before my thoughts catch up. Elevator doors, security scanners, office lights, everything repeats without asking. I used to notice small things on the way to work, the weather, songs, conversations on the street. Now entire mornings disappear quietly before I realize I was awake at all. My desk calendar stayed turned to last month. Nobody else seemed to notice either. Lunch arrived faster than expected again, then disappeared before I felt rested. A friend sent photos from back home tonight, people laughing somewhere near the river. I stared at them longer than necessary before locking my phone without replying. Sometimes exhaustion doesn't feel heavy, just strangely familiar after a while. Monday feels automatic now, like my body moves before my thoughts catch up. Elevator doors, security scanners, office lights, everything repeats without asking. I used to notice small things on the way to work, the weather, songs, conversations on the street. Now entire mornings disappear quietly before I realize I was awake at all. The train windows reflected tired faces floating through dark tunnel walls. Nobody spoke during the last transfer, only footsteps filling empty station sounds. Monday feels automatic now, another week beginning without warning. Still somewhere underneath these quiet routines, a small part of me keeps resisting. Even if these days keep repeating, even if the city keeps pulling me forward, I still look outside during train rides sometimes, like I'm searching for something I forgot. Three unread messages stay on my screen since sometime around 11:30. One asked if I was doing okay lately. Another sent photos from a birthday dinner. I watched the typing bubbles disappear before setting the phone back upside down. The apartment stayed completely silent, except for traffic somewhere far below. Lately I answer everything slower, even things that used to make me happy. Unread messages after midnight, stacking quietly beside my alarm clock. I never meant to disappear this way. It just happened between work days. Somehow the city outside still sounded awake, but my room already felt disconnected, like I've been slowly drifting farther without realizing when it first began. Convenience store receipts fill my jacket pocket, folded between train cards and loose coins. The microwave light reflected off the kitchen sink, while instant noodles cooled beside the counter. Someone laughed loudly outside the building, and silence settled back into the hallway. I opened old conversations for no reason and closed them again before scrolling too far. Sometimes exhaustion looks almost normal after carrying it long enough every day. Unread messages after midnight, stacking quietly beside my alarm clock. I never meant to disappear this way. It just happened between work days. Somehow the city outside still sounded awake, but my room already felt disconnected, like I've been slowly drifting farther without realizing when it first began. Train passed somewhere near the river, sound fading into the early morning. I almost replied to one of the messages, but stared at the screen until it dimmed. Unread messages after midnight, another quiet weekday ending, half awake. Maybe everyone grows distant eventually, just slowly enough not to notice it. Still somewhere beneath these tired evenings, past unanswered calls and crowded stations, I think there's a version of me waiting for the day I finally reach back out. The elevator stopped on every floor. People stepped in carrying tired expressions. Nobody looked at each other for long. Only floor numbers changing overhead. My office badge twisted against my jacket. Wrinkled sleeves folded near my watch. Someone beside me fixed their hair quietly while staring into the mirror doors. reflections that don't fully feel like mine anymore. The elevator mirror looked unfamiliar tonight, like I've been wearing the same face too long. Another overtime evening inside great buildings, another train waiting somewhere underground. I used to walk through this city differently, noticing music leaking from cafes at night. Now most days disappear inside routine before I even realize they're over. Break room coffee tasted burnt again. Someone joked about surviving until Friday. I laughed softly half a second too late, then stared at my monitor for another hour. Outside the windows, rain blurred everything. Office towers fading into cloudy glass. A song I used to love played through my earphones, but I barely listened to the chorus. Maybe people slowly become quieter without ever deciding to change at all. The elevator mirror looked unfamiliar tonight, like I've been wearing the same face too long. Another overtime evening inside great buildings, another train waiting somewhere underground. I used to walk through this city differently, noticing music leaking from cafes at night. Now most days disappear inside routine before I even realize they're over. The last elevator down felt strangely silent, only fluorescent lights above our heads. Someone sighed softly near the closing doors, then looked away before the lobby opened. The elevator mirror looked unfamiliar tonight, but I still stared at it before leaving, like part of me was trying to recognize who I've slowly become inside this routine. And even if these long repeating weekdays keep wearing down small pieces of myself, I still pause whenever the doors open, as if I'm expecting something to change. The same cafe near the station entrance, already knew my order before I spoke. I used to like small familiar moments, now they mostly pass without feeling much. Weekend plans stay buried in the group chat, nobody pushed the conversation further. Saturday disappeared inside laundry and sleep, then Monday arrived almost immediately. Somewhere along these repeating evenings, excitement slowly stopped showing up. Nothing felt special anymore lately, not Fridays, birthdays, or late night walks home. Everything started blending together, like weeks folding into the same tight shape. I thought adulthood would feel more meaningful, like every year would change something inside me. Now I mostly count days by exhaustion and train announcements after overtime. The office lights stayed on past 9 again, rainwater drying near the lobby floor. Someone asked if I wanted I just stopped paying attention slowly. Nothing felt special anymore lately. Not Fridays, birthdays, or late night walks home. Everything started blending together, like weeks folding into the same tired shape. I thought adulthood would feel more meaningful, like every year would change something inside me. Now I mostly count days by exhaustion and train announcements after overtime. The washing machine hummed through midnight, street sounds fading outside the blinds. I stared at old photos on my phone tonight without remembering when they were taken. Nothing felt special anymore lately, but somehow that realization scared me most. How quietly people get used to emptiness without noticing it while it happens. Still somewhere beneath these ordinary nights, past office floors and crowded stations, I think there's a version of me waiting to feel something honestly again. The office sounded different after 10. Keyboards soft across the empty floor. Someone near the hallway vending machine rubbed tired eyes beside cold canned coffee. The elevator stopped less often now. Most desks already dark behind the glass. I checked the train schedule twice tonight, knowing I'd probably miss the faster one again. Lately going home feels delayed somehow, like the city keeps moving without me. Overtime lights above my head again, white reflections filling silent windows. I used to think staying late meant ambition. Now it mostly feels automatic. The last train announcement echoed downstairs while unfinished work blinked across my screen. Somewhere outside people were meeting friends, and I barely noticed the time passing. My necktie stayed folded in the desk drawer since sometime near the start of winter. Dinner came from the convenience store, microwave eaten slowly beside printed documents. A message from my mother stayed unanswered, not because I forgot to call her back. I just didn't know how to explain lately why every weekday feels exactly the same. Sometimes exhaustion becomes so familiar, you stop asking when it started growing. Overtime lights above my head again, white reflections filling silent windows. I used to think staying late meant ambition. Now it mostly feels automatic. The last train announcement echoed downstairs while unfinished work blinked across my screen. Somewhere outside people were meeting friends, and I barely noticed the time passing. The lobby smelled faintly like rain water, security gates flashing near the exit. Cold air hit harder after long office hours as taxis move quietly through wet streets. Overtime lights above my head again. Another long night dissolving into morning. Maybe everyone learns to carry this feeling just differently behind tired expressions. Still, every time I leave the building late and hear the empty crosswalk signal ringing, I wonder how much of myself I'm trading for days I'll barely remember later. The platform looked almost empty tonight. Only tired footsteps near the yellow line. A vending machine hummed beside the staircase, while transfer announcements echoed overhead. Someone slept with their head against the window, still holding a convenience store bag tightly. The train arrived slower than expected, cold air rushing through the opening doors. Lately every ride home feels quieter, like the city finally running out of energy. The last train home again tonight, half awake beneath fluorescent station lights. I used to think nights in this city felt exciting. Now they mostly feel unfinished. The stations pass without me noticing. Weeks disappear in the exact same way. Somewhere between overtime and morning alarms, I've started losing track of myself a little. My reflection blurred against the subway glass, dark tunnel sliding past behind my face. A song kept looping through my earphones softly, but I barely listened to the lyrics anymore. The final transfer nearly made me miss my stop. I woke up when the doors began closing. Outside the station, rain covered the sidewalks. Street cleaners moving through the empty roads. Sometimes I wonder if everyone here feels this tired without ever saying it aloud. The last train home again tonight, half awake beneath fluorescent station lights. I used to think nights in this city felt exciting. Now they mostly feel unfinished. The stations pass without me noticing. Weeks disappear in the exact same way. Somewhere between overtime and morning alarms, I've started losing track of myself a little. The apartment elevator smelled like rainwater. My key slipped once before reaching the lock. Inside the room, everything stayed exactly the same as yesterday morning before work. The last train home again tonight, another long weekday ending after midnight. Maybe this is how people slowly change without recognizing it while it happens. Still, every now and then during these late rides, watching dark windows shake against tunnel lights, I remember there was once a version of me who thought growing up would feel different. Someone laughed beside the copy machine, talking about weekend plans and deadlines. Paper cups stacked near the coffee maker, the same conversations every afternoon. I learned how to nod at the right time and smile lightly when everybody else did. The break room television stayed muted, weather forecast forecast changing without sound. Lately I've gotten better at pretending that I'm less tired than I actually feel. Small talk in the break room again, questions nobody really waits to hear answered. Everyone sounds comfortable together while I count minutes inside my head. I never thought loneliness could happen in rooms filled with voices every day, but somehow these short familiar conversations only make the silence feel heavier later. A coworker asked if I was adjusting well. I answered slowly and laughed a little. Someone opened snacks beside the printer, crumbs scattered near unfinished reports. My phone buzzed quietly inside my pocket, messages I still hadn't replied to. I stared at them through the reflection on the microwave door during overtime. Sometimes I miss conversations that wandered without checking the time every few minutes. Small talk in the break room again, questions nobody really waits to hear answered. Everyone sounds comfortable together while I count minutes inside my head. I never thought loneliness could happen in rooms filled with voices every day, but somehow these short familiar conversations only make the silence feel heavier later. The vending machine lights flickered softly. Someone yawned near the hallway door. Outside the office, rain covered the windows, blurring the buildings across the street. Small talk in the break room again, another weekday disappearing into routine. Maybe everyone here feels disconnected, just quietly enough not to show it still. Every now and then after these long days, walking home beneath crowded apartment lights, I catch myself wanting real conversations like the ones I used to have before all this. Rain kept sliding down the office windows, blurring buildings across the street. Half the floor had already gone home, only monitor light remained behind me. Cold coffee sat beside the keyboard next to documents I stopped reading carefully. The air conditioner hummed above the silence, while spreadsheets stayed open across the screen. Some nights the office feels disconnected, like time stops moving after everyone leaves. Rain on the office window tonight, another overtime evening fading slowly. I used to think staying late meant something, now it mostly feels expected. The city outside looked far away somehow, even though it waited just below the building. And lately I've started feeling the same way about almost everything around me. Someone forgot their umbrella near the printer, water dripping softly onto the floor. The elevator numbers barely changed for a slowly over time. Rain on the office window tonight, another overtime evening, fading slowly. I used to think staying late meant something, now it mostly feels expected. The city outside looked far away somehow, even though we waited just below the building. And lately I've started feeling the same way about almost everything around me. The last subway transfer flashed across my phone, rainwater gathering near the station stairs. For a second I imagined not going home, just walking until morning somewhere unfamiliar. Rain on the office window tonight, another quiet weekday ending after midnight. Maybe growing older really feels like this, small pieces of yourself becoming distant. Still every now and then during these late hours, watching rain slide slowly down the glass, I remember there was once a version of me who felt excited staying awake at night. The jacket hanging near the doorway changed without me really noticing when. Summer disappeared somewhere between overtime and crowded subway mornings underground. The convenience store started selling hot drinks where cold bottles used to fill the shelves. Someone mentioned how fast this year was moving, and everybody quietly agreed. Lately time feels harder to recognize, like weekdays swallowing entire months whole. I stopped noticing the seasons changing, the weather only mattered before work. Sunset arrives earlier than it used to, but most days I barely see the sky. I thought growing older would feel slower, like I noticed myself becoming different. Now entire parts of the year disappear inside routines I hardly remember later. The office air conditioner finally stopped running, cold wind replaced by indoor heating sounds. Umbrellas line the lobby entrance quietly, water drying underneath fluorescent lights. A friend asked if I've been doing okay lately. I answered busy before thinking twice, then realized I've been saying that same sentence for almost every month this year. Maybe people slowly lose track of time when every day starts looking the same. I stopped noticing the seasons changing, the weather only mattered before work. Sunset arrives earlier than it used to, but most days I barely see the sky. I thought growing older would feel slower, like I noticed myself becoming different. Now entire parts of the year disappear inside routines I hardly remember later. The train windows reflected winter coats tonight, faces hidden beneath tired expressions. Outside the station, cold air hit differently, before I noticed it. I stopped noticing the seasons changing, and somehow that scared me more than anything. How quietly life keeps moving forward, even while everything feels frozen. Still every now and then, during long commutes, watching distant apartment lights pass by, I remember there was once a version of me who waited excitedly for every season. The apartment looked exactly the same, but somehow felt smaller than before. Laundry hanging near the kitchen doorway, cold coffee left beside unopened mail. I missed another call from back home tonight, without realizing the phone had vibrated. The television flickered without sound while I stared at nothing from the floor. Lately even weekends feel temporary, gone before I fully noticed they arrived. I barely recognize myself lately, the way I speak, the way I move through days, somewhere between overtime and exhaustion. Parts of me slowly disappeared unnoticed. I used to stay awake creating things at midnight. Now I fall asleep before finishing a thought. And honestly, the scariest part about it is how normal all of this has started feeling. The last train home felt colder than usual. Everyone's silent beneath white subway lights. A song I once loved played through my earphones, but I skipped it halfway through the chorus. Old sketchbooks stay buried near the bookshelf, dust collecting slowly across the covers. I almost opened one after showering, then turned the light off instead. Maybe burnout doesn't arrive loudly, maybe it quietly replaces who you were. I barely recognize myself lately, the way I speak, the way I move through days, somewhere between overtime and exhaustion. Parts of me slowly disappear unnoticed. I used to stay awake creating things at midnight. Now I fall asleep before finishing a thought. And honestly, the scariest part about it is how normal all of this has started feeling. The refrigerator hummed through the darkness, rain tapping softly against the glass. I checked tomorrow's first subway schedule before finally trying to sleep again. I barely recognize myself lately, but somewhere underneath all this routine, I think there's still a quieter version